you've ever asked yourself, how can I get the swing and the golf game that I've always imagined without trying every tip, every training aid, watching every video after video on social media, then this podcast is for you. Welcome. I'm Daniel Guest, and welcome to the Imagine Golf podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Imagine Golf and PXG. All right, Imagine Nation, welcome back. I am in our southern location in St. Petersburg, Florida today. I got a round of golf. I'm going to get in and then go into the Valspar. So super excited for that. So today's the FORE Friday edition for straight, I hope. I haven't played in a while outside anyway. I've been murdering the ball in the sim, and I'm just super excited to get out on the links and actually put it to the course. So today is where we give you a tip, a tool, a suggestion, something that you can take with you right away without changing a whole lot. And we do that in 4 minutes or less starting now. So as we head into the weekend, and you're going to be watching golf, I'm sure. If you watched golf last weekend, by the way, it was amazing. Both the PGA and LIV were amazing finishes. But if you're watching the tournament this week, this weekend, or forget that, every single Saturday and Sunday, right? You'll notice that these pros, right, they finish their every single shot, and it's an amazing balanced, follow through / finish. They seem to hold it and almost pose, if you would. And yet we amateurs, we spend countless hours like obsessing over our grip, our takeaway, our backswing, the exact moment of impact. You get it. But what would happen, right, if you focused on after the ball leaves, right, or after the ball struck by the club face, right? I want you to think about, and we're going to be talking about that importance of the follow through and the finish, and why your golf shot absolutely does not stop after contact. And here's what I mean by that. It's almost like an illusion, right? Let's call it the illusion of impact. I actually like that. But I see it every day. It's incredibly common for amateur golfers to swing to the ball rather than through the ball, right? And here's why. It's because the ball is just simply sitting there, right? Like staring at us. The way our brains work, right? The brain is telling you or thinking, right? Hey, that's the ball. That's the finish line, right? Let's hit it, right? And when you make the ball the finish line, your body and your mind, or your mind first, I should say, then your body, subconsciously begins to decelerate right before impact. And this is not even subjective. This is absolutely what happens. And you're hitting at it, right? And once you hit it, your arms as you're trying to hit it, your arms tense up and you swing, abruptly, if you would, or it stops abruptly shortly thereafter the ball. And these things lead to a loss of power, right? A breakdown of your total swing, and ultimately inconsistent ball striking. And I had a coach as an example that would say the ball is not the destination. It's simply in the way of the club head, right? And I thought that's pretty good, right? At the time, it sounded kind of esoteric, but in hindsight, it's pretty good. So the follow through should be and is a natural, unrestricted release of all the energy you built up during the backswing and downswing. And if you want crisp, compressed golf shots, you have to commit to this entire motion. There's not a day goes by on our lesson tees in all of our locations that we're not demonstrating just how effective you would throw a golf club. So you wouldn't throw a golf club over the top. You wouldn't throw it by early extending. You just grab the end of the grip, right? You take a couple steps. The club is, if you're right-handed, the club is behind your right side a little bit. And then you transfer your power, transfer your weight, generate some power, and time the release and throw the golf club. And there would be a follow-through because the club is large, right? So essentially, there is no difference in that movement, right, in theory, with the golf swing. Now, there's a few things here, right? You're not moving. I get all. You're not moving your feet as much. I get that. You're not releasing the club. I get that. But the actual move, right, of throwing that golf club is in fact that natural unrestricted release of all the energy, right? So we got to get that going in our golf swing, and balance amongst all things is your barometer. And what I mean by that, so if we're swinging through the ball correctly, right? The answer, right, will lie almost always at the end of your swing or your finish. And what I mean by that is like, look, if you think of your finish as, let's call it the ultimate diagnostic tool, right? It will tell you everything you need to know about the swing that just happened. I can see someone's finish and tell them how they hit the ball, almost where they hit the ball every time, right? And what they need to do to balance or to swing more effectively. Because if I see the customer or the student falling backwards, stumbling forwards, stepping towards the ball, stepping out of the box after they hit the ball, they are definitely swinging out of balance. And if they are out of balance at the end of the swing, there is no doubt they were out of balance during the most critical part of the swing, which is impact. Right? So when you think about a proper balanced finish, I want you to think about just a couple few key things, if you would, right? And by the way, this would prove that you're in balance, right? The first one is tempo, right? You swung smoothly and within your physical limits. Right? We don't have to have this, incredible long backswing, follow through, and stick it like Rory McIlroy, all right, and stare down, the fairway. If you, we don't need that. And if you're 70, you probably can't do that. But you can swing smoothly, and you can swing within your physical limits, and you can push those physical limits way more than you think you can. All right, that's the first one. The second one is weight transfer. You successfully shifted your weight onto your lead leg. And I'm talking about 90% plus, right? No weight, is standing or remaining on your right foot, right? Think of just zero weight, right? And then commitment. What I mean by commitment is you just didn't quit on the shot. You accelerated completely through the strike, through the zone, through the finish, and you stuck your landing almost like a gymnast, if you would, right? So those are the three things that you can judge a proper finish with: tempo, weight transfer, and your commitment. And so this weekend, what I want you to think of, right? I want you to think, now, if you're going to the course, if you're going to the driving range, I want you to try just a simple drill. It requires no swing changes, no technical, overhaul, no mechanical change, and no no equipment. In other words, no swing trainers or anything like that. All right. I want you to make your only swing thought for the next five. Let's do seven. We love seven. We want to do the only swing thought for the next seven swings is, and I'm doing air quotes here, hold your finish. So swing fully and freely. I want you to think about posing, right, at the end of your swing with your weight fully on your front foot and your chest facing almost past the target to the left, right? And your right arm had gone completely straight through the downswing and through the follow through, or not through the downswing, through the follow through and around through the finish. And I want you to hold that pose as if you're waiting for the ball to hit the ground, right? Like Rory does. So you're swinging fully and freely to the maximum that you can. You're going to pose at the end of your swing with your weight fully on your front foot and your chest facing or past the target, right? And you're going to hold that pose. Let's call it for 3 to 5 seconds. If you swing here's what's going to happen. If you swing too hard, there is no chance you'll be able to hold it. And if you hang back on your trail leg, you won't be able to hold it. And by just simply focusing yourself and your mind to like stick the landing, for lack of a better, your brain will automatically, right, organize your body to swing with better rhythm, better tempo, and better balance. I see it every day. Look, I'm the first one to admit, when I demonstrate shots, when I demonstrate this as an example, I always look at the student and I go, man, I wish I swung like that every time. I would be an amazing golfer if I swung like that every time, but I'm human just like everyone else, and I don't. But you need to swing through the ball and you need to hold that beautiful finish, and you need to watch your ball striking, and you're going to watch, I'm sorry, your ball striking improve. It's really that simple. Swing through the ball and hold that beautiful big finish, and your ball striking will improve. All right. All right, that's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. You can find us on any one of the social media or check us out, I should say, on any of the social media platforms. We're on them all. Imagine.com is our website, and get to our YouTube page. There's lots of good stuff on there. All right, see you next week. All right, then. That's today's podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the follow button wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to check out our site, imaginegolf.com. Check out our YouTube page at Imagine Golf, and we're on all the social media platforms on the same at Imagine Golf. And here's to getting you the swing and the game that you've always imagined. You've heard all the golf tips. You've watched a million golf videos on keep your head down, turn your hips, check your grip pressure, you're swinging too fast. And frankly, it's overwhelming and just flat out noisy. So stop listening to the noise. Traditional golf instruction is way too complicated. And honestly, it isn't based on any facts and it just doesn't work. At Imagine Golf, we clear the clutter. We focus on the simple, evidence-based athletic moves that actually work and stick. Experience the Imagine promise. If you don't get better in just one lesson, your lessons are free. So stop practicing your mistakes and start playing better golf today. Book your lessons at imaginegolf.com and golf better guaranteed.